So, what was in your suitcase?
Nothing, just my stuff. Everything I had. I just got here.
Welcome to Vegas. You know anybody here? You got any family that you can call?
I don't have any family.
Where are you from?
Back east.
From where back east?
The pod bay doors are open. Welcome once again. I'm your host, Jerry Dean Roberts of ArmchairCinema.com. Seated here with a man who is thankfully not part of the G-String Circus. The critic, dare I say legend, TalkMovieMe.com, Mr. Doug Heller. How the heck are you today, sir?
You don't want to be in this kind of show. What you're doing, at least it's honest. They want tits and ass, you give them tits and ass. Here they pretend to want something else, and you still show them tits and ass.
That is so depressing. That is so
the
distressing.
Stupidest line, because I think that's stupider than his AIDS and shit line. Because okay, we're talking about Showgirls. Happy Turkey Month. Week. What the hell are we into? I don't even know anymore. Week 2.
This movie does kind of addle your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Any quote that you ever have from this movie, bear in mind that a man got paid $3.5 million to write that.
Yeah, $3 million. My runner-up was, you guys, upstage left, monkey shit.
$3 million.
I have taken shits.
$3 million. You and I will never see that kind of money in our lives. A professor in a screenwriting class would ball this up and throw it in your face and throw you out of class.
There's one as he was watching riff tracks and everything.
They wouldn't touch this.
And the one thing that always sticks in my head in I think it was X-Men: The Last Stand. Wolverine comes out and he says, "Class dismissed," and Kevin Murphy goes, "Apparently what the screenwriter's teacher said after 15 minutes."
No, I'm gonna make it much simpler than that. Do you remember the Family Guy episode where Peter decided to make a quote unquote chick flick, and Joe had the best review of it?
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
That fits here because this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. This was the movie that was supposed to give legitimacy to the NC-17. Instituted in 1990, it sort of became this weapon for the rating system, for the MPAA, to shake at any movie that had content that they were mildly offended by.
Right, and it was because it was meant to be not as daunting as the X.
It was not. It didn't have the.
But it was still used.
It didn't have the sting. But they came up with this at the beginning of the decade, and this was supposed to give it legitimacy, and it didn't.
Wasn't Henry and June the first one?
That was actually good.
That was an excellent movie. Yeah. That movie actually worked, and all of the reasons that it was NC-17 were appropriate for the story because that was a very torrid love affair. This, however,
is a piece of shit.
Is a very torrid piece of crap. Yes.
Because I wonder what in the world is in anybody's head with this, because I don't know what kind of movie they actually thought they were making, because
I don't know, but all of them were very much behind it and in support of it and
threw money at it.
Enjoyed making it. They enjoyed making it.
I cannot believe that a room full of professional filmmakers thought this was a good idea. They came up with a movie that's the most basic, bottom line show business story. It's what price Hollywood, Stars Born kind of thing. But The difference being that at least A Star is Born, you had this young woman, this young Kansas woman coming from the Midwest and into the limelight of show business, and she's sweet and she's innocent, and the business threatens to suck out her soul. This, she comes in and
Right.
she's a psychotic who overreacts to everything. And
It's everything. Like, she takes everything as a personal affront.
and they don't even bother to give you a
Nobody can
backstory.
nobody can even joke about her. Like, nobody can make it just kid a little bit or anything, and she just takes everything so hardcore personally. But we don't really know why, because we don't know if she's grown up with money. We don't know, and she ran away. We don't know if she's grown up with nothing. We
We don't know
find
if there's
out
abuse
some
in
of
the
her backstory.
background.
Right. We find out later on, much later on, too far later on for my taste, because the movie's way too long. But
Over
you
2 hours
find out,
long.
she's been it's 2 hours and
Oh
11
God.
minutes. Yeah, it's over two. It, you they say, she was a prostitute in places. She got picked up for theft and prostitution and a whole bunch of other things. So she's been kind of, living on the edge of society for most of her very
But
young
in order to
life.
get our feet into this, we kind of need some information. We need a little
That we
bit. We
do
do
not
not get
get.
any of it. She's pissed off, and the problem is that when she's pissed off, the way she reacts to things is so stupid. She's sitting there talking to Gina Rivera, and Gina Rivera says something to her, and she's got French fries in her hand, and she just gets mad and throws them all over the place. The visual is
Yeah,
so
bear in mind now,
stupid.
it's so stupid, and the worst part is, this is when those two
Hmm.
met. Like,
This is like she bought her
uh,
lunch.
no, Nomi was having problems. She literally runs into this girl,
Hmm.
this young woman, who takes pity on her,
After getting her,
gives her something to eat, and then she throws a fit, and then they become best
after a scene,
friends.
I'm still trying to figure out. Okay, she came from L.A. to Las Vegas, which is a 4-hour drive. Okay,
Hmm.
and she hitchhiked. Now I don't know how far that guy took her, but she gets picked up by this guy who is based his look on Elvis, I guess, and he's driving around in a
I think
pickup
he
truck.
based it on a he based his look on an Elvis
He's
impersonator.
driving around in a pickup truck, and he picks her up, and every single thing he says to her is this leering, um, sexual, uh, verbal sexual violence, which she responds to immediately by whipping out a switchblade.
Which, I mean, you know what? That is kind of
It's
the
kind of the
appropriate
appropriate
reaction
for
to
a
that
movie
guy,
like this, yeah.
honestly. I mean that just a man like that. Yes, a switchblade is the only appropriate reaction, honestly, because I mean, if she hadn't shown him that, he probably would have tried to physically
Right.
assault her. So he knew not to not to go after her. Now,
When I was watching this when I was watching this the other night, I gotta tell you this. She gets in the truck. He talks to her a little bit. Where are you going? I'm going to Vegas. What are you gonna do there? He says, I'm gonna dance. Okay. He says something. He says something really inappropriate to her. She whips out a switchblade, and I'm thinking to myself, and this is what came into my head, Cannon. This looks like the opening of an episode of CSI, because I can imagine she whips out the switchblade. We do a fast dip to white, and then we come back out, and the CSI team is coming upon this truck, and there's a dead body in it. Yeah, that's what I kept thinking of, and it's acted just exactly the same way.
yeah.
And but she comes in.
Actually, it's the whole movie is acted like it's a reenactment of a crime.
You know what? That's yeah. Yeah, like a forensic show,
Yeah.
like a forensics documentary.
It's like no one is actually trying to
And it
give a
says reenactment in
performance
the
here.
corner of the...
All right, yeah. That's all it needed. That's all
But
it
what,
needed.
she's coming to Vegas to be a dancer? I'm gonna guess probably at a casino, because she ends up getting a job as a stripper.
Yeah, she wants. I guess she wants to be a
Yeah.
showgirl. Hence the title, I suppose. However, uh, it was the '90s. Nobody set out to be a showgirl in the
No.
'90s. People set out to be a showgirl in the
Yeah,
'40s.
in the 50s, the Rat Pack era.
Right. But and even the '60s, it was. I mean, it wasn't. It was not a particularly respectable profession, but it was more respectable than stripping because they usually had to wear
Well,
pasties. I
60s, it
guess.
kind of,
Yeah.
that's when you kind of started to get into the Playboy Club era. You kind
Yeah.
of started to move into that, and this kind of showgirl thing had kind of gone away. And I don't, this show that she wants to get into.
But what is this Busby Berkeley crap that they're trying to put?
Okay, let me tell you something. A show at a casino hotel like this is a place for people to go and see titties and get drinks. Okay, that's all it's there for. This is not, but they're playing it like a Broadway production.
Right, and they're like, oh, we've got Crystal Connors, this big star. It's like, if she's a big star, why
If
is
she's a
she
big
here?
star, why is she performing in Vegas?
No offense, Britney Spears. No offense, Mariah Carey.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But the
No
atmosphere that she
offense,
had,
guys.
the minefield that she has to traverse. It's like watching this movie. I told you this the other day. But watching this movie is like being in a room full of very angry, horny, stupid people. That's what it's
Yeah,
like being with these characters. Every word that comes out
yeah.
of everybody's mouth is just. It's like a 12-year-old
Unfortunate.
who just learned curse words.
Right. Yeah. And it, oh,
The whole thing with, and I don't know where my head would go with Elizabeth Berkley in this, because she comes off of a teen.
I know where they want
I know
your
where they
eyes
want
to
your eyes to
go.
go, but she comes off of a teen sitcom, a hit teen sitcom.
Yeah, Saved
Right.
by the Bell, where she was arguably, uh, you know, she's a very
Mhm.
attractive woman, but she was probably the third most attractive woman on the show and fourth most attractive person
Well,
on
she
the
comes off of that.
show.
You don't see any trajectory that leads her from that to this.
No, the only thing that I can imagine is that she wanted to shake loose the teen
Right.
image, the family
The Jesse
in
image.
in such a in a very, because she was like the academic, she was really
Yeah.
smart, and she was a prude, and she was she didn't want to be typecast like that, so she got her big break in a movie, and she's like, okay, I want to do something that is going to completely sever the idea of me and Jesse.
Spano.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could not
I
think
looked
of
that
that
up
name.
before we
Uh,
started, so that's how.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say that was a little bit after
Yeah.
your time. I don't think you would have
I
been
looked it up.
a Saved by the
I
Bell
looked it
guy.
up on Wikipedia.
That was for my generation and a little bit older, just a little bit older.
I think what
But
happened, and this you may agree with me. I think what happened is either she thought or her management thought Okay, well, Paul Verhoeven directed Basic Instinct, and it was a big hit for Sharon
Yeah.
Stone by taking off her clothes and playing this sexual psychopath.
And it really and it was the
And it
same
was the same
writer.
writer, and they thought, well, maybe lightning will strike twice. And
Right.
here's the problem: she can't act.
No, she
But then
can't.
again, it's kind of like I say the same thing about this that I say about Hayden Christensen. Nobody can work around this dialogue. Nobody
No,
can work around this dialogue. But
no,
I'm going to say this. I'm
no,
going to say this. This is not created by untalented people. Because
no,
Paul Verhoeven
no.
is a
This is
very good
just like
director. He's
this.
very in your face.
This feels like when Harrison Ford was yelling at George Lucas. Says, George, you can write this shit, but you can't
But this
say
stuff you
it.
don't even want to write.
Well, look, Joe Esterhaus, I think, is a very, very disturbed man.
Well, yeah.
I think he has a lot of unresolved issues
And
with
you can see it
women.
on the screen.
Oh, all over it, because he did this, he did Basic
Jade.
Instinct, he wrote Jade, he wrote Sliver, he wrote.
Okay, so he wrote this, which killed Elizabeth Berkley's career, and then movie career, and then he wrote, um, Jade.
Just around the same time or a year after, he wrote Jade, which killed Linda
And David
Fiorentino's career.
Caruso.
Yeah.
Well, David Caruso was rescued by CSI, so there's that.
I'll never forget the first episode of South Park. They were trying to get Ike to jump out the window. Ike was Kyle's adopted Canadian brother. He was like 1 or 2 years old. And he's up in the attic. There's a fire. And Kyle goes, Ike, do your impression of David Caruso's career. And he goes, it's my turn. And jumps out the window.
That's good. But I'm watching this last night, and I'm like, okay, this is the lead up. All of the scenes in this movie are the lead up to porn, and the porn never happens. And it's like she can't, and Elizabeth Berkley cannot act, and she can't dance because that strip routine is embarrassing.
The whole thing that, I mean, and even the Glenn Plummer character tells her, you can't dance. You are just throwing your bits around. And that is all she's doing. The whole time, she's not a trained dancer, and yet she thinks she can be in a Vegas show with trained dancers.
Yeah.
Like, what got it into her mind that she could dance anyway?
And I don't even know what.
This doesn't even feel like this is a lifelong ambition. Like, this just feels like she decided it one day and just
Took out on the road.
started hitchhiking to
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, and I don't.
Because she leaves the same way.
The people who wrote this movie, the people who made this movie, obviously don't know anything about strippers, don't know anything about Vegas, don't know anything about showgirls, don't know anything about putting on a show.
Women.
Don't know anything about women.
Women.
It's fascinating. You're just watching this movie just crumble and die. And
yeah,
it's basically, supposed to be, again, the neophyte comes to town and she does things that are immoral and illegal, and you don't really know what and it's yeah, you've risen to the top, but it's at the cost of your own soul. The problem is she never seemed to have one to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, no. So, but like, and the picture itself is well cast.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in their parts are good in their parts. Gina Gershon is perfect in that
Robert
role.
Davi is
Kyle
disturbingly.
I was just about to say, Robert Davi was perfectly cast in a way that he has never been perfectly cast before.
Is the strip club owner.
Like,
Just
This feels like they just turned a camera on him in his day
Yeah.
to day, and it was just how it happened. Like,
I don't know this about him, but what I get from him is he seems to be a very, very angry man. He left acting to go and be a crooner, and then very quickly found out people
that
don't listen to
nobody
that anymore.
listens to that anymore.
And then he became where a lot of people become when they leave show business. He became this hard-nosed, angry conservative podcaster.
Yeah, it's really a shame. It's
Because he's not a bad actor.
He's not a bad actor. He's not a good actor.
He's
not
good
a
for
bad
he's
actor.
good for a type of role.
And he was good as a Bond villain.
A more realistic Bond villain.
Yeah. But
Living
I've
Daylights.
also seen him in...
No, it was License to Kill.
Yeah, I think so. License to Kill. It was one of the Daltons, yeah. Which is why nobody remembers that he was a Bond villain, because it was one of the Timothy Daltons. People remember George Lazenby's 1, but they don't remember Timothy Dalton's 2.
But
he was a good Bond, too.
He was. But you're watching this and you're just like, I don't know what anybody was thinking.
I don't think anybody was.
Because Joe Esterhaus apparently has a very specific fetishes. He loves women with knives, sex for cash. He loves lesbians. He apparently loves sexual violence. But has no idea about any of it. There's no insight into anything in this movie.
No. All of this is genuinely just written from a fetishist angle. Like this is basically like an erotic story that you would somebody would write for like a $2 Amazon book or something like that.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that there it is. It's like a porn book that you would read.
Yeah, it's like one of those. I don't know if you've ever trolled the Kindle section in Amazon, and it's been a long time since I've done this, but I found like their little like $1.99 section, and all of it is either
amateur porn,
gay vampires, straight vampires. I'm sorry, gay vampires fucking, straight vampires
bisexual vampires,
bisexual vampires fucking, or upstairs, downstairs, Victorian era romance. The Contessa with the stable boy or some shit. Like,
it's somebody trying to write Lady Chatterley.
Basically, yeah. These are it was written by the person that wanted to be the paperback writer in the Beatles song.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this is.
And I don't even and it doesn't even make narrative sense, because there's stuff that happens that
I think you're
kind of pays off a little later.
You're asking for narrative sense
because the movie
Esterhaus.
is just this silly malformed titty movie, and then all of a sudden, about 3/4 of the way through, there's a...
I'm sorry, just for a second. The titties are not malformed.
That's
the
what I mean.
movie
Yeah.
Is. I want to make.
Yeah, I'm talking about the movie itself. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Everybody in it was
because about
very
3/4 of the way through, there's this really ugly rape scene, and
no, it's not 3/4 of the way through. It is literally 30 minutes left in the movie. This thing happens. For no reason. Look,
the only black character with like, some speaking role.
and she's infatuated with this,
which is established a little bit at the beginning.
Pop star. Yeah, like she professes her love to a poster that she sees, and okay, fine, and then she gets to meet him at a party because but Nomi is at a party and she calls her and she says, "Hey, he's here," and they start, flirting and everything, and they're hooking up, and they're about to have consensual sex.
The room
And
floods
then
with guys.
he brings two or three guys in, and they hold her down and rape her for no reason. It comes out of nowhere, which honestly, the sexual violence does
Yeah.
come out of nowhere. I mean, I'm not saying that, but to do that without a context, first
It's
of all.
exploitation
Second of all,
and it's ugly and it's mean.
it's ugly, and I'll tell you what, the only character in the movie that you would have expected to have gotten that happen to was Naomi.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you're paying attention to the whole movie, you're surprised that this is not happening more often. The way these people
Yeah.
relate to each other. But what happens? I think you're being generous. I think it's more like 20 minutes before the movie's over, because all of a sudden this rape revenge plot comes flying in the door, and then she kicks the crap out of him, and then it's over.
Right, and then she has to leave, and then she flees town.
But she got a part in the show. She
Right, but she just went and beat that guy
and she
up.
the only significant
So she's gotta
contribution
get
that
out
she
of
has
town.
to anything is that she does the old thing where she trips the star on the way down the stairs, and she gets to roll in the show, and then this happens, and then she gets out of town to go somewhere, and he says, and by the weirdest, most bizarre cosmic coincidence, she hitchhikes out of town and ends up in the same truck with the same guy. Now, how many people go in and out of Las Vegas every single day? At least 500,000 people. Okay.
Yeah. To find that same guy, and then he's like, did you gamble? And then she's like, I want my suitcase back. And he's like, okay, I'll take you to your suitcase. Whatever.
Okay, let me tell you this. She pulls out the switchblade again, and this idiot has the nerve to look surprised.
Right. So, my ideal ending, and this is what I was hoping for, because it would have actually made sense in the movie, if you can say that anything in the movie makes sense. If she just stabbed him, kicked him out of the truck, and drove away.
Well, actually, I was going to say it probably would have made more sense.
I wanted that to
It would have made
happen.
more sense if she were walking through the casino floor, and she spotted him.
Because he was trying to say that he knew somebody in the office. So,
Yeah.
seeing him on the street is more plausible than getting picked up by
The 1 in 500 million chances that she would get picked up by the same guy. I think he's one of those people in a video game that the cars that drive around in a video game, they're non-player characters, but they're just driving around in a circle, so it looks like something's happening. I think that's what he's doing. He's just driving around Vegas, just like.
Well, I mean, the odds of it happening are really 5 million to Joe Esterhaus.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only there is no, the only good movie he ever wrote was Basic Instinct, and it wasn't good because of his screenplay, and it wasn't even
that good. Again, it was that angry, ugly, mean, it just.
Yeah, a woman so cold she kills with an ice
pick
sickle. No, an ice sickle. Not even a nice pick.
At least that
It's like
one.
she's so cold she
Well,
kills
I'll say
with
this.
ice.
I didn't like
ugh.
Basic Instinct, but I'll say this. And I didn't like Jade either. But at least both of those movies had a trajectory. This doesn't even have a trajectory. I don't know what in the world. This is so spotty and so. Um, it's so.
The, the, I think Paul Verhoeven needs clear scenes
Everybody in this movie
to
needs to calm
direct.
down.
Well, first of all, yes. And then you
And doesn't really understand
like,
sex because the one sex scene that happens in this movie
oh
is the
my
most.
gosh, the pool scene when she looks like, to me, you called it dolphin sex, and I get where you're going with. She looked like a fish out of what she
Floppy.
looked like. She looked like somehow Kyle MacLachlan was shooting 10,000 volts out of his dick directly into her.
I was actually concerned.
And she was like shaking like she was having an epileptic seizure. I'm like, if his dick is that good, I want it. Like,
But I was actually concerned. I was like, okay, she better be careful. She's going to drown.
or break her
Or
own
break
neck.
her own neck. Or twist her spine or something.
Or swallow her tongue or bite it off. Like, she was in major trouble. Like, she needed a leather wallet or a stick or something to
Yeah.
like, she was in real danger. And it was just so sudden because they were all passionate and everything they were getting, and then he like does that, and then she just
Yeah.
It was instantaneous, which is why it was like he had a joy buzzer on his dick. Like,
And
I
you
didn't
almost want him to stop and go, what are you doing?
like, what is wrong? Like, I wanted him to call an ambulance. Like, I didn't know.
What are you doing?
Are you okay? Do you need to see someone?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly she needed to see someone, but listen. Okay, so explain this to me. So we've already mentioned there's only one sexual assault. There is not a single pregnancy or abortion.
No.
There were no sequences
Physical
where
abuse?
somebody in the club got handsy and had to get thrown out. That never happens. The point I'm trying to make is all of the things that you would expect would naturally happen in a situation like this don't. And all of the things that you think would happen in a 1930s musical do, except there's
And
tits.
I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, and I don't know if you do this too, but sometimes when you're watching a movie this bad, you start thinking of all the movies that did it 10 times better. Because, and I would say the snapshot of this is probably Honora. Because that movie does everything this movie can't do.
Yeah.
It does everything right that this movie does wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with better acting, with better stage crafting, with a lower budget, and no stars,
and real characters who seem to come from somewhere and know what they're, and we know what they're about, and it has a bittersweet ending that means something. Yeah, it's wow.
This literally starts and ends in the exact same way.
Let me say something. I saw this. I was 26 years old when I saw this, and I've never thought I could get bored by nudity.
I was 44 when I saw it.
I never honestly thought I could get bored with nudity. I was like, and Elizabeth Berkley, I don't know who her makeup person was, but her makeup is smeared on. It's like...
Yeah, she doesn't look...
I guess they're going for this sex doll kind of thing, and it's just... Ugh. Okay, I'm tired of talking about this one.
I feel like I have to go take
Yeah.
a shower. Like,
Next week, I'm going to tell you something. Our next movie is going to be a lot more fun. Because the next movie...
sure
I
is.
So next time is your pick. And
Yes.
you
And
have
it's
chosen,
cool as ice.
and it's so not.
It is the one and only film roll of one Vanilla Ice.
I said the same thing about Carrot Top. It's like we got one movie from each, and
One
that's
movie too many.
it's one movie too many. And I'm going to tell you, this is hardly a movie.
Oh no, it's a lot of, it's like nonsensical vignettes strung together with dancing interludes that don't actually make sense.
And out of that, I'm going to say that I watched your choice and my choice back to back. My choice comes off a lot better by comparison because my choice after that, we're talking about Stallone in Over the Top, his arm wrestling movie.
How many times do they actually say over the top in Over the Top? Because it's
I don't
got to
remember.
be off the charts. It has to be like 1,000 times.
His dialogue in that movie is just... Let me tell you something. The world meets no one halfway.
It's 10 times better than Robert Loggia's dialogue because all of his dialogue is Hawks!
Robert Loggia.
Hawks!
I miss Robert Loggia. Oh, man. I so miss Robert Loggia.
And we'll finally find out whether it is a single or a double elimination tournament.
I want to mention it's a double elimination. And by the way, if I didn't mention it before, this is a double elimination. If you lose the first one, you still have another chance because
This is a double elimination tournament, and I wish
The
that was
number of times
actually an
they say that.
exaggeration of what they say, but that's almost verbatim.
they say that I don't know how many times in that movie.
I
Anyway.
think the arm wrestling match is like the last 35 minutes of the movie, and for 34 minutes they're explaining it.
Yeah. That
Have
brings
you-
November to a close.
Have you watched Cool as Ice yet?
I have. It makes about as much sense as Showgirls, but it's a lot more fun.
You can listen to us here on YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button so you know when we're hitting a new episode. If you like us, tell your friends. If you hate us, tell your enemies. Just get our names out there. We appreciate anything you can do. We thank you again for listening, and the pod bay doors are now closed.